So you have this young sister that's kind of realizing, what happens with homes. For instance, when you get a mortgage, you have to pay, your property taxes, school taxes. You got to pay taxes, right? Well, she's going to talk about what happens after you pay your home off and what could happen with that said home if you didn't have any more income. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Bro, America is such a freaking scam. It don't make no sense. Let's say you work hard, right? So you go and buy you a house with a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's say you work 30 years to pay off your mortgage. You pay it on time. You get it done, right? And on year 31, you fall sick and you can no longer work. Now, let's say you no longer have income, which means you cannot pay your property taxes anymore. They are going to come take your house, even though you worked 30 years to pay your shit off and you paid it on time and you finished it and you got it done. You still don't technically own the land. I just think that's crazy. And I just feel like once we pay off the house, I feel like that should be it. It shouldn't be no property taxes after that. Like, I think that's crazy. And we have no choice but to deal with it. That's the American dream. A scam. These days, it's literally no point in renting because you're going to be paying like $1,700 for a fucking 2-bedroom. And that's if you want to live in a decent community. Now, you can go to the hood, pay about $900, but who the fuck live in the hood? It's like we can't win. Like, a part of becoming an adult is just realizing, bro, this shit's fucked up. We can't win. And it's a scam.
And let me go on and add insult to injury what she just said. Somebody who sits around watching all day looking to buy tax delinquent properties, they could sit there, see that home is up for, on the tax delinquent list. They took the house from them. Let's say they owed $1,000 in taxes. Small number. They can't afford to pay it. $2,000. Small number. That person could pay $2,000 and now they got your whole house. Yeah, that's America for you. America, in the way they do things, if people really sit down and think about it, like they so overtax and overburden the citizens of this country that other countries don't even deal with. In most countries, if you pay your home off, then you're done. You don't have nothing else to pay. Now, you can get exempt from taxes when you get to a certain age, then you're exempt from property taxes, but you have to literally wait until you are a senior citizen to be exempt from property taxes, school tax, etc. I feel like she feel. If you pay the house off, you're done. Because you paid the house off, the land you own, you're done. It's yours. But that's not the way they get down here in the United States of America. On top of that, you're taxed upon tax upon tax. For instance, you work a job, you pay payroll tax, Social Security that you may not ever see, Medicare, which we should be having Medicare for all, actually. I believe that healthcare, clean running water, food, and affordable housing should be an automatic human right. And I don't think nobody should have to worry about paying for, things like that, especially when it comes to healthcare and things like that, right? I believe that instead of paying water bills and all of that, they can just, put it all in a tax and then we pay that and that's how things are paid. But that's not the way they think in this country, because you got to understand this country is built off of capitalism. And when you have capitalism, some people is going to capitalize in that society and live very great. And others will not capitalize and be very poor, oppressed, etc. So you get your payroll check after paying taxes. Then if you have to go buy something at the store, you got to pay sales tax. Let's say clothes or something, sales tax. The business that you bought it from, they got to pay tax on the money you gave them, even though the money that was already taxed already when they got it in their hands. Now you got to pay a sales tax at the store. Then the business owner got to pay tax on the money he or she received. The business owner got to pay taxes on his or her employees, because when you have employees, they have taxes, but you also are paying taxes on them as well. So basically your employer is basically paying half of your taxes. And then you pay the other half of your taxes. That's really the way that works. So on top of that, then you go drive down the street. You're paying taxes for roads, bridges, etc. You're paying registration for a car you already paid for, right? You got to have your car registered. Now the inspection part, I agree with inspections because some people's cars, you don't need to be on the road if they're, not up to par. Let's call it what it is. That's dangerous for themselves and others. But you got to have a registration sticker on your car in most states to drive. If you don't have this registration sticker on a car you paid for that's yours, you can't drive on roads that you paid for through taxes. Then they say, well, a driving license is a privilege, not a right. Okay, so you got to give me a privilege to drive on the roads that I paid for, right? On a car that I paid for, but you say I can't drive my car unless you give me a sticker to say it's okay to drive my car that I paid for. Do you see how far it goes? Do you see how far it goes? And you can keep going on and on and on and on and on. And then when you go to other countries outside of America, they don't even do all that. It's just not that complicated. It's all about making sure you drain the pockets of the citizens. And as we live in the information age, more and more people are going to be pointing these things out. And these younger people really going to start pointing out. That's why a lot of these silent generation and baby boomers who are in charge don't want the young people in charge. They're fighting like hell to keep the younger people away from any kind of governance. Because the moment that happened, all these people that's making money, you got to think about it. Everybody who's they're paying taxes to is making money. The companies that's making the registration stickers is making money. You got to think about that. The people, who's making driver licenses, even if it's going to the state, they're making money. They're making money off of all of this, creating jobs for people like enforcement of these particular taxes and laws or whatever. So yeah. I mean, it is a straight scam. And that's why when younger people come in power, we need to get rid of all of that and just simplify it. Completely simplify everything. You shouldn't have to be tax upon tax upon tax. No. If we're going to pay a tax, let's pay a national tax on everything that we buy it in. Let's do it like that. That way you don't have to worry about tax upon tax upon tax. It's silly. But yeah, that's the way it is in America. It's just extremely predatory on the citizens. And I'm glad people are starting to slowly wake up to it.